began in fall camp. It began in game prep last week. We knew they were going to make those move calls and stuff, try to get us to jump. So that conversation has began, and it's something that we're continuing to work on. Obviously, it was an issue on Saturday, but it's just one of those things that we got to be accountable to on game day. We can work on it as much as we want to in practice. When it shows up on Saturday and it hurts us on Saturday, we know we didn't do enough. We got to do something different. So today at practice, we're pushing it, and we're just going to keep working on it.
When you're working through something like that, what's the tone and the mood? I mean, is it our guys yelling? Is it kind of a calm, cerebral thing? How do you guys approach kind of?
Yeah, in practice, we're getting intense about it because we know we got to get it right. But I'll tell you, on Saturday, I was happy how our team responded to it. I think in years past, when we would shoot ourselves in the foot, we'd kind of get behind and start thinking about all that kind of stuff and continue to make mistakes. And I'm happy on Saturday how we responded and we were able to, get out of those situations and just push forward. And I think that's really the message. We got to avoid those at all costs. But we also know that, things are going to happen in the game, and we got to be able to respond in a good way and keep the team moving forward.
Who's talking in the game when that's happening? Who's the one saying things? As a unit, we have pretty good communication all game. So, we'll get to the benches and we'll talk about it, we'll address it. But the biggest thing is next play. When it's game day, we can't keep thinking about those things too much. Obviously, we got to keep in mind that they're going to be making those move calls and things. But really, we got to get that working in practice, and we got to get it right during the week. So we got a couple more days to get this thing right, and we're just going to keep at it.
What was the tone of the conversation? You kicked the field goal on that drive, the first drive. You came back over, and Coach Ross came in the bench area with the offensive line. What was the tone of that?
Yeah, the biggest thing was, obviously he was coming in and saying we got to, tighten up. We got to avoid those penalties. But the other thing was, we came out shooting our guns. We came out kind of with our game plan in mind, and we started executing it right away. Even though we made a couple mistakes, he kind of liked what he was seeing up front in terms of us kind of handling some of that movement, which we knew Oklahoma would have. And that's kind of the message that Coach Frost was giving us the whole game, just encouraging us to keep going, keep playing Big Ten football, because that's what we knew was going to give us a chance in that game. And obviously we got a slope of Big Ten teams ahead and a challenge ahead, and that's going to continue to be the message.
Ross said that one of the missing elements on offense is another crease run here and there, big plays in the running game. What needs to happen to develop more of those, and how small can the margin be between yards and third?
Yeah, the biggest thing is I think it is that margin that you're talking about. It's usually one guy makes a mistake here, one guy makes a mistake there. We miss an angle on a linebacker or something like that, and we can't crease the big runs. So, what we're harping on is just bodies on bodies up front, and we're still really finding our identity with our nastiness and things like that. So as we continue to develop that and push that in practice, that's something that we're making a habit. Guys like Ramir were running hard on Saturday, and that's stuff that we really like to see as an O-line, and we kind of feed off each other and continue to make that run game work. But I think you nailed it right there. It is just that little bit. And like I said, one guy here or there, and we all just got to clean it up and make sure we're on the same page and make sure that everyone's doing their job every play.
What is that Big Ten? You say Big Ten style that he wanted from you as you go into these next set of games. Particularly Saturday night. What does that mean to you to play as an offensive lineman, to play Big Ten style?
Yeah, the biggest thing is just us being able to establish the line of scrimmage. Michigan State coming in as a much different defense than we saw at Oklahoma. Much more stout, much more vertical, power rushes, things like that. And it's something that it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a 60-minute fight up there at Michigan State. Obviously, they've had a good start to their season, and it's going to be a challenge. But the biggest thing for us is just establishing that run game early and being able to kind of, like I said, kind of early in the year, open up those different facets of our offense and not just have to rely on one or the other.
How do you walk that balance? It looked like most of the team didn't agree with the second call on Cam on that flag of wanting to play to the whistle, and you never know what the official's going to call out there. Like, is it how difficult is that, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, you just can't worry that was a tough call. I think we all agree on that. I think Cam, set a standard. I'm not going to, condone the penalties, but I think he set a standard for kind of the where our room needs to be in terms of just finishing blocks and things like that. So we just got to play to the whistle, and Cam's doing a good job of pushing all of us, and we're working as a unit to really keep establishing that mindset as a group. But yeah, I mean, that was a tough call. I think Cam made some big time blocks, and like I said, encouraging as playing next to him. That elevates me to want to kind of match that same intensity and maybe stop a little bit, stop right at the whistle instead of a little bit after.
Has Cam found a different gear, whether it was last week or just over the last couple of games this year? Because it looks like he's playing at a pretty high level on some penalties.
Yeah, I think Cam he's a guy that brings it every day in practice. I mean, you're not going to turn the film on and see a single play where, he's not running guys, outside the pile, things like that. And he's set the standard since spring ball, fall camp, and he hasn't slowed down. I don't think that's anything new for Cam. I think he had a chance to show it this week and the last couple games. And I think it's going to be something that, he's going to continue to help push our room. I'm going to keep pushing the room, and I think we're all going to keep trying to play more like, finish blocks more like that. And I think Cam was setting a great standard.
Levi made a couple of comments about it's like to live with some offensive line with pizza boxes and the garbage. What it's like to share a bathroom with a big ass friend. How do you think he's adjusting to living with the line?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's adjusted well. I like seeing him out there on Saturday. He made a big play and for us, and he was it's a good opportunity to kind of push each other and see how other guys on the offense are feeling about the game plan and things like that. So it's definitely good to have him in the house.
You guys are experts. What do you make of him as a blocker?
I think he's one of those guys who's just working every play. He doesn't care if he's getting the ball or if he's off the ball making plays in the blocking game. So really like to see that in our receivers, and I think they've all kind of embraced that this year, and they're all doing a really good job.
Could you give him tips? Is there something in your job that translates over to his?
Probably at home. I can tell him what he needs to hear.
Anything else for Matt? All right.
Appreciate it.